All right. The initial joke, donuts to dollars. Well, here we go. We have the donut here in the center. This donut, again, is a refresher, is a heat map of your data. So at the top, we have a filter, and it says, I have mine set to all shares. So show me how much of my data is eligible to be archived, tiered, sent somewhere else. So the heat map, coldest being in the dark blue, working our way around to red being hot data. And in here, I can see that over 50%, and actually in this case, 63.4% of my data is eligible to be actioned to go somewhere. That is a huge financial savings. When we start talking about even like multiple terabytes, petabytes, that is a huge savings to my organization. So how do I find this stuff? How did I get here? Well, I leverage deep analytics. So we're going to talk a little bit about deep analytics today as kind of a refresher on how this works. And I actually have my filter screen up. So when you load deep analytics, this is the first page you'll see. This is all of my shares by default, a different organization of the heat map. I now get a bar graph here, and I can hover over each one of these bars to get a little bit more information of the age of my data. So my coldest setting is greater than 3 years. In this category, I've got 389 terabytes, or 12% of the 3 petabytes that I've been analyzed, consisting of 4.4 million files. And I can keep going through all of these to see more about it. I can actually get some more results on the space consumed by top shares, the number of files by top shares, and so forth. All right, so quick refresher. One other thing too is that the filter page used to be a permanent fixture on the left-hand side. We've actually opened this up to give you more real estate to see more about your data. If you want to see the filters now, it's a little button here on the left-hand side. And another change that's been made. So now you see over here where it says data store. That's a little teaser for what's to come. So stay tuned. In the next couple of months, you're going to see a big announcement from Komprise. All right, over here, when I expand data stores, I now see my sites. For my sites, I now see my file servers that are at those sites. When I expand the file servers, I then see the shares. This is where it used to stop before, but now we have this concept of Directory Explorer, or I can keep drilling down, and now I have another pane that opens up, and I see the folders, not just the top level shares, but I see the folders inside of that share. And I can keep going down and down and down and choose the exact folder that I want to run this against, rather than having to just run analytics on a top level share. So this is a major enhancement to deep analytics to help you identify data and unlock those and realize those savings. So I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to choose everything on this Isilon, and I'm going to say run. So when I say just that Isilon, I've selected that share. Now my results are specific to just that Isilon. And I can see that it's just about a little over half petabyte, 6.1 million files. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to say, I'm going to add some more filters here. 1 second here. And I want to add what I talked about before about file types. File types are a predefined collection of extensions that fall into these buckets. And something that a lot of customers don't know is that this can be customized. You can add specific or custom file extensions to these buckets so that you can have, so that maybe you've got a custom video file or a custom database file that you want to fall into these buckets that are not in there today. We can add that for you. So what I want to find, I actually want to go up here and I want to change this to my entire Atlanta site. And then for my entire Atlanta site, I want to add a filter here because I want to find where people are storing PST files. Because I have a rule or regulation in my environment that says, no, you shouldn't have PST files anywhere in the environment. Whoa, all right, I found 163 terabytes of considered mail file types in my environment. That's a lot. It's 1.84 million files. Okay, so let me say, let's add a date to it. So let's say a last accessed more than, I don't know, let's just say 6 months. Actually, you know what? We'll just do 3 years. We'll go way out there. Say run. 39 called 40,000 files. So let's take a look to see what we found here. So I've got all the file names here. I've got the size of the files. I've got where and what site. I've got the owner of them. So this gives me the top 1,000 files. Let's say I want more, and I actually want more about this data. So I can click this export button here, and that'll download a CSV. When I download that CSV, it's going to give me the name, the extension, the actual full file path, all the age history. And that's something that I can take and show my leadership to say, hey, we've got a rule against having these files on our anywhere in the environment, because everyone should be storing their data live in Outlook. So right away, you have an opportunity to clean up some of that data.